Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. So, we're just waiting to see who is going to pop up tonight. And if you are watching on a replay, I hope that you have been doing really well. Hope that everything that you have been working on has been working out the way you expected to. And even if not, you're figuring out a way to keep the momentum going. Like I mentioned in my last video, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that this is the time of year that a lot of us start to slip and slide as far as being productive, and we start to slack a little bit, but just continue to keep pushing, continue to keep going. And while we wait for everyone to come in, I'll just give you guys the latest update with the business, and the official launch date for the new website for Masterpieces Writing and Editing LLC will be March 1st. So if you want a sneak peek of the website before March 1st, make sure that you are signed up for my mailing list. And also, my mailing list subscribers will get a special discount code as well to celebrate the launch of the new website. So if that is something that you would love to be a part of, make sure that you click the link in the bio and you sign up for my mailing list. And also, I do have a lot of goodies that I give out, in addition to the upcoming one. There are a lot of great things that I have given in the past. I don't know if you guys have noticed. If you follow me, I don't really advertise discounts and sales anymore, for one. Very time consuming. I'll probably do videos about why I don't do sales anymore in the future. However, like they are very important, especially when you're trying to move things out, you're trying to phase things out. But like I said, it can take up a lot of time, so I limit the amount of sales that I do, and I leave the exclusives to my mailing list, which I still will give some goodies here and there for everyone else. But if you want to get exclusive access to deals and offers, make sure that you are signed up for the mailing list. So we have one more minute, and then we are going to go ahead and get started. And if you notice the title, we are talking about resumes tonight. And I know that the top of the year is a very busy time for people with job searching, because there are a lot of different reasons why people transition to new jobs, even new careers at the top of the year. Sometimes jobs phase out at the end of the year. Sometimes people get that itch, just like they're ready to do something different in the new year. And then sometimes it's just circumstances, so regardless of what the case may be for you, if you've noticed that you are submitting application after application, but you're hearing crickets, I am here to help you out. So don't panic. Don't worry. You are tuned in to the right place tonight, and we are going to talk about that. So it is 6:03. So I am going to go ahead and get started. So tonight's title is Why Your Resume Isn't Working. And I have shared my experiences with the job search process in previous videos. I think on this page, I think it was the fake, you can't fake it until you make it. That one. I shared that. And also, I think it was overworked and underpaid on at Masterpieces Writing for a Let It Go Wednesday, that I shared my experiences with the job search process, and it was not a great one. I started out in my late teens, early 20s. That was the first time that I was in the workforce, and every job that I ever interviewed for, I got. But over time, that stopped working. And I noticed that as times were shifting and changing, I had to shift and change as well, but I was not. And the last time that I was actively in the job search process was in 2015. So that was a long time ago. So I can't even believe now that it's been 7 years, and a lot has changed within that 7 years. But at that point in time, I started to notice a lot of things that were changing. And I was like, oh, so I thought that I could still use the same, tactics that I was using before, especially when it came to my resume. And I'm not going to lie, I got really, really lazy, because when you are actively job searching, you get tired. And probably with the first couple of applications, like, you're super excited. So everything that they ask, you fill it out, you give them all this information, you take so much pride in your resume. But after a while, it's like, look, I'm not hearing anything, so they're just going to have to take what I have. Like, I'm sorry, but I am here to help you out so that you do not have to do that, so that you do not have to get discouraged. There is a way to fix it, and I am here to help. So one reason why your resume might not be working for you is because you're not clear about your goals. And this was a really big one for me. So, like I mentioned to you before, when I was job searching, it's like, you know what, I got real lazy and I was like, they're just going to have to take whatever I'm giving them, even though it's like I had a range of jobs that I would have accepted. I was going to accept anything that was in education, anything that was administrative, customer service. I was open to it all because I needed money. However, my resume did not reflect a clear goal and it looked all over the place. And because of that, a lot of people did not respond to my resume. And I can count on my hands the number of interviews that I got during that time. And this was after submitting like multiple, probably I made it to 100 applications, on Indeed and on other websites as well, even with just manually submitting to people via email. I did it all, and still would get crickets. And like I said, one of the main reasons why was because I was not clear on my goal. It's like, whatever you can give me, I'll take it. But you have to get really clear on what it is that you're looking for. If you are looking to jump into a new field, your resume needs to reflect that. If you are looking for a new position within the same field, your resume needs to reflect that. And if you are looking to move higher up, you need to communicate that. And oftentimes we don't consider that. We just know that one of the main objectives is we need more money, or we're looking to challenge ourselves more, but yet and still we don't stop to think about, okay, is this communicated on my resume? Because we know. And I was one of those people who felt like, look, I don't care what the resume looks like. Just give me an opportunity to come in and interview and you will see. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I'll communicate my goals. However, because times have changed, a lot of managers do not spend a lot of time looking at resumes. So they're not going to look at like, well, I'm not really clear on what she's looking for, but we'll bring her in to see. They're not going to do that. Trust me, they are not. They need to know once they see your resume that you are worth bringing in because everyone's on a time crunch now. So you have to make sure that whatever it is that you are looking to achieve with your resume, that it is clearly communicated. So make sure that you know your goals. So number 2, another reason why your resume might not be working is because you're not doing your research. So if you're someone who does not know your goals, you're not researching. So you're not taking the time to figure out exactly what's expected of you in a certain position, in a certain field, even if there's a certain company that you have your eyes on. You don't even know their goals, their mission, their values. So you're pretty much just out here just grasping at straws and like just hoping that something hits. And that is a really big no. And one thing that will work for you not only with your resume, but also when you show up for your interview is when you've done your research. People can tell. Trust me, you cannot fake it till you make it. I would show up giving these generic answers and coming up with generic questions, but people can tell when you're rehearsed. They can tell that. So you want to make sure that you know what it is that you're going for, what you're expecting to receive, what you are expected to do, what you can give to the company, how can you benefit them, how can you help them reach their goals, and make sure that you are communicating this in your resume. Make sure that it shows up. And as we continue to go down the list, I'll give you some tips as to how you can make sure that that is communicated, but make sure that you do your research. And also, if there is a particular job that you're looking for, make sure that you go over the job description and you pull out words and you pull out verbs, you pull out adjectives that people are looking for. Now, you do not want to copy all of that verbatim because, again, that is a big no-no. However, you do want to make sure that you're showing that, hey, I know how to do this. I know how to be that. So make sure that you are incorporating that into your resume. And especially for tracking systems, this works really well because they have these keywords plugged in, and that is what they are looking for. So make sure that you use all of your research to your advantage. So as much information as you can gather, as you can pull from, use it to your advantage. So number 3, another reason why your resume might not be working is because you're not highlighting your best skills. Now, notice I said best skills. Now, going back to my personal experience, I was someone who had a lot of skills. Still do. However, I did not take into consideration that all of these skills may not apply to this one particular job. So here I am making sure that it's like, no, I don't want to leave anything out. All the skills that I have worked hard for them, and I want to make sure that they know it. That was a big no-no as well. Because again, when you're grasping at straws, hoping that anything just catches, you're not going to get anything. You have to be very specific and you have to really hold in on your strengths because that is what employers are looking for. What are your strengths? What are you best at? And even though you might have things to where, man, I could possibly do a little better in it, but it's like I still like the fact that I know this thing. That might be something that you might want to reconsider. Now, even if you do include it on your resume, you might want to make sure it's not at the forefront. And one way to make sure that you put your best skills forward is in your summary of qualifications or your professional summary. So the wording is different depending on how you have your resume structured. However, just look at this summary as a bio about you, a short bio. You don't want it to be filled with too many words, but you want the words that you use to be straight to the point. You want it to be concise. You want it to be clear. You want them to be strong. You want to communicate who you are before these people even meet you. And like I mentioned before, with everyone being on a time crunch, hiring managers do not spend a lot of time on resumes. They spend a few seconds looking, scanning to see if they want to move forward. And if they don't see anything that catches their eye, they toss it to the side. So you want to make sure that as soon as their eyes hit your resume, you are pulling them in. And one way to do that is with your summary at the top of the page. And after that, make sure that you have bullet points that list your top skills. Again, your top skills. And there are other ones that you will be able to highlight in your description, but make sure that you are putting your best foot forward by putting your best skills forward. So, number 4, another reason why your resume might not be working is because it's not relevant to what you're applying for. And again, I was guilty of this. So this goes back to not being clear on your goals, to not doing your research. So whenever you have multiple interests, things that you are willing to do, okay, who wants to make 3 different resumes for 3 different areas, right? But that is very necessary. And the reason why it's necessary is because hiring managers can tell when you just put one thing together and just threw it out there. They can tell you did not take the time to make sure that the skills that you have listed, the experience that you have listed, is really relevant to this job. Because you're just telling them, I can work, as you can see that, but you're not communicating to them that you can do this particular job. And I know it may seem like a daunting task to do it. However, it is definitely worth it. And oftentimes you may not even have to tweak that much, but just making sure that, for instance, if you are like me, like I mentioned to you, I was interested in doing administrative work, education, customer service. So I would make sure that there were certain skills that were still consistent between each one. However, I made sure that I put the most relevant ones for whatever the particular one was toward the beginning. So these are the ones that the people see first. However, even though I had the skills listed, I did not do a good job of highlighting my experience well. Because guess what? I still was using the exact same descriptions that I was using in all the other resumes, even though I was switching up the skills. And again, that does not work because you're not highlighting and pulling what can apply to this particular position. If you're someone who is in education and you're steadily emphasizing how you're able to handle cash or how you're able to manage like a huge workflow, like in something that would involve you being very productive on like an assembly line or something like that, something in retail, that's not going to work. Even though you've had this experience and it is your experience and you want to make sure that it counts, you just have to figure out how to work it in. So if you are someone who wants to have an educational background, but you are coming from retail, pull out things that would be related. Where have you taught people? Where have you mentored people? Where have you supervised people? Show leadership. And also, what have you done outside of work? What does your volunteer experience look like? What have you done education-wise that was outside of a work setting? So there are so many different ways that you can highlight that educational experience, even if you don't have a lot of work experience in education. And like I mentioned, you just have to get creative, and you just have to figure out what works and what doesn't work and just tweak it. And like I said, even though I know having multiple resumes does not sound like fun, but I guarantee you it will be worth it. And I even hated to take certain jobs off because it's like, no, it's like that's going to show a gap in this. No, 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 no. It is perfectly fine. It is okay because employers are more so concerned about can you do the job, not necessarily have you work consistently. So, number 5. So, this is a really big one. And this is one that I see a lot with my clients. One reason why that you might have a resume that is not working is because you're not allowing yourself to shine. And I know that because doing a resume seems to be something that's very technical. You have to have this keyword and you have to have these key skills. However, you still want employers to see you. You still want them to know who you are as an individual, as a person, not this carbon copy of an employee that they've written down in this description. Because, of course, while it's great that you're able to do these things, they still want to know that you're a human, that you're a person. What have you accomplished? Not have you been able to check off on a list, I was able to do this task, I was able to do that task, but what can you contribute? You, not someone who's just a regular employee, you. So, just to give you an example, I love to ask my clients, okay, so what accomplishments do you have? What achievements do you have? And oftentimes, like, they have to really stop to think about it because they don't think about that on a regular basis. And it's like, wait a minute. So, I was able to get this award for doing this, and I was able to increase productivity by this amount of percent, and then I did handle this amount of dollar account. So, I love numbers and figures because those are the things that are going to catch employers' attentions. They want to see what can you do as a person, not as a robot. What can you do? And they especially love to see you take initiative. So what's something that you did outside of what was expected of you? If you were able to streamline a process, that is great. Include that. If you were able to propose a new way to do something to where now the company follows this protocol instead of what was there before because you found a more effective way to do it, share that. These are really important details because, again, it shows what you're capable of and it shows what you can contribute to the company as a person, you know. And of course, like I mentioned, with these tracking systems, they love to see numbers, they love to see figures. And this is also something that companies are looking for as well. So in addition to having these strong verbs and adjectives, make sure that you are putting in numbers and figures to actually measure what you can contribute. Something that you can actually say, well, I did it by this amount of percent and I decreased it by this amount of percent. Include that. Like, don't be afraid of that. I know some people might see it as if they're bragging, but you need to. This is your resume. If you want this job, you have to show people everything that you are capable of. But make sure, like I said, it's just not a carbon copy of something else that you've seen written somewhere else. Like, make sure that it is authentic. Make sure that it is you, because this is something else that hiring managers will pick up on. So even when you come in, they love your resume, but when you show up to the interview and it's like, wait a minute, this person in front of me does not look like this person on the page, then you're probably not going to get the job anyway. So just make sure that you are being authentic. You don't have to fabricate. You don't have to lie. Even though I know some people might feel the need to stretch the truth a little bit, but you do not have to do that. Trust me, there is always going to be something there for you to pull from. And one way that I've been able to do that is at whatever level. It's like I love helping people see, like, you've done a whole lot more than you think you've done. So it's always fun for me to ask these probing questions to see, well, did you do this? What about that? And it's like, oh, well, I did. I didn't think about that. So trust me, you are valuable and you have contributed a lot to all the roles that you have fulfilled. So there is always going to be value that you can offer. And don't be afraid to shine and to show that to employers. So just to give you guys a recap as to why your resume might not be working and how to fix it. So let's not focus on the negative. Like, let's just reframe it to where this is how your resume can work for you. I like that better. So, number one, you have to know your goals. 2, do your research. Number 3, highlight your best skills. Put your best skills forward. Number 4, make it relevant. Make sure that whatever you are sharing in your resume is relevant to the job or the field that you're interested in. And number 5, just allow yourself to shine. Don't be afraid to let employers see who you are, what you can contribute to the company, and how you can grow, and how you have grown. So I hope that this helps you all. I hope that if you are out there in the job search process and if you are getting a little discouraged, just continue to keep pushing. The right job, the right opportunity is going to come along. And another way to keep you encouraged, just remember that an interview is just an opportunity. Don't look at it as if like this is the end all be all, like I just have to have it. And I know what that feels like. Trust me, I do. Especially when money is dwindling and you still have bills to pay. I get it. I have been there. But just see it as an opportunity. So regardless of what happens in an opportunity, just see how you can grow from it. What can you learn from it? Like, see it as an opportunity to practice. I tell people this all the time. Like, regardless of the outcome, it was practice for you. And even if it wasn't the right opportunity, the right one is coming. And you're just getting better and better each time. And if you would like a little bit more help with your resume, you can go to the link in the bio and go to my Gumroad link and download my $1 resume checklist. So it's going to go a little bit more into detail about the things that I discussed here tonight to give you a visual picture of what that looks like on the resume. And also, if you want to work with me, click the link in the bio as well and contact me, and we can get together and we can work one-on-one. I can critique. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied tonight. I can critique your resume for you. I can also create one for you, or if you have an existing resume, I can revise it for you. So whatever it is that you're looking for, I can help. And also, if you want to skip the resume and get straight to the interview prep, I can help you with that as well. So just make sure you go to the link in the bio. Also, check out all the other amazing things that I have going on. Like I mentioned before, if you are interested in signing up for my mailing list to get a sneak peek of the website and a discount code, make sure that you sign up today. And also, if you want to download any of my full ebooks or bundle deals on Gumroad, you can use code LIVE10 LIVE10 to get $10 off your purchase. And trust me, like, that is a big difference, because I have some products that are $19.99. You can get it for $9.99, and my latest ebook, Doing Business the Legal Way, it is $14.99, so you can get it for $4.99 with this code. So again, it is LIVE10 LIVE10 if you want to save $10 on your purchase. And also, I thank you guys so much for tuning in with me tonight. Do you guys hear the rain? Like, it is coming down hard. And I was hoping that I could get through this video before the rain came, but I guess I'm finishing just in time because I didn't want any interruptions with the internet or anything. So I'm glad that I was able to spend this time with you all, and I'm glad that I was able to get everything done in time. However, I do look forward to seeing you guys again in 2 weeks. And also, if you're not following me on @SheWritesMasterpieces, make sure that you follow me there. I did my latest Let It Go Wednesday video last night, so be sure to check that out. And if you want to go back and watch any of my previous videos, make sure that you do that here on the videos tab on @MasterpiecesWriting, or you can go to the official YouTube page for Masterpieces Writing and Editing LLC on YouTube, and you can find everything there. So again, I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all soon. Bye.